What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona finally, after 10 years, have beaten Bayern Munich in an official competition. 4-1. An overall good performance, but some things to learn in this game. It was a phenomenal atmosphere at the Montjuïc. 50,000 full capacity the stadium was tonight, and the players have finally delivered in a big game for the first time in a very long time. Is this a sign of change this season? We don't know yet. Another big test on Saturday to really define that, but tonight we celebrate finally a big Champions League win against a big team. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen right now. It was Inaki Peña in goal, a back four of Kounde, Kubarsi, Inigo, and Balde, a midfield three of Pedri, Fermin, and Casado, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. The big question mark for this lineup going into this game is who is going to be the third midfielder between Fermin, Frankie, and Olmo. Everyone wanted Fermin, and Hansi Flick went with Fermin, and as we all know, based on the game, it was 100% the correct decision. The first goal scored in this match was scored by Raphinha in the first minute of the game. It was a long ball over the top from Lewandowski and a big mistake by Joshua Kimmich to control the ball. Raphinha's through on goal, and to be honest, I thought he was going to miss, but thank God he rounded the keeper. Neuer puts it into the open net and gives Barcelona the very early lead. The second goal scored in this match was scored by Robert Lewandowski against the team that we bought him from. It was a nice ball over the top. I don't remember off the top of my head who it was, but it was coming to Kim Min-jae. A little nudge by Fermin. Don't think it was a foul personally. Of course, in the comments, let me know if you thought it was a foul. He barely touched him, but it was enough to throw Kim Min-jae off balance. I think, to be honest, Kim Min-jae was not going to connect with the header anyways. Draws to Ferdinand Lopez. He goes through on goal. I don't know if he was tackled or a shot or what happened, but the ball bounced to Lewandowski, and he pokes it into the open net. Just Upamecano got a big touch on it, so if he did it any wronger, that could have been a huge miss. But Lewandowski puts it in the back of the net, does not celebrate against his former side, but gives Barcelona the 2-1 lead. The third goal scored in this match was scored by the best Brazilian in the world, and probably top 3 best players in the world right now, in Raphinha. The pass, the assist from Casado was fucking sublime. The switch of play to find Raphinha in open space. He was 1v1 with Rafael Guerreiro, cuts inside, shoots the ball, I believe, in between the legs of Upamecano. So very lucky he got the shot off, but the curl and bend on it was phenomenal. The accuracy was sublime, and he puts it into the back of the net, giving Barcelona the 3-1 lead heading into the break. And the fourth and final goal scored for Barcelona was scored by him again, Raphinha, to complete his Hattrick. He got his first hat-trick of his senior career a few weeks ago, and now he's got his second on his 100th appearance for Barcelona. Again, we talked about Casado's fantastic assist for his for the second goal for Raphinha, the third goal of the game. This one, same thing, but it's Lamine Yamal. The pass was sublime, and this is probably the best finish of the night. He's going through on goal. We always talk about Raphinha, very indecisive. Old Raphinha would have probably cut back, try to dance between Kim Min-jae and Upamecano, but he does a fantastic, brilliant, low-driven shot across goal. Nor does not see it coming. Poor defending by both Kim Min-jae and Upamecano, who were both on Raphinha. The finish was absolutely utter and pure world-class. Hat-trick completed, 4-1 scoreline secured. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it, I believe, in my opinion, a very generous 8 out of 10. It was probably, I would say, 6.5, teetering around 7-ish. I don't think we performed champagne beautiful football. I think we were just very effective. We got a bit of luck on our side as well. I have to highlight that first 20 minutes of the first half was nothing short of absolute, pure and utter abysmal. That was the worst Barcelona we have seen this season by a long way. Just kept on inviting pressure, and it took Bayern Munich to score a goal to wake us up. The possession was dead. We didn't have any good possession of the game until the 23rd minute. And when we finally held onto the ball, we looked to compete. And that's why I kind of given the very generous score line. It's because when we actually played well, when we were playing our game, we looked so good. We looked so fluid. We were going toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich. They, of course, are a very good team. They were coming at us as well. Very even and open game. But I have to highlight the clinicality of Barcelona. We were so effective in the final third. And that was the big question mark of last season. We were so ineffective in the final third. Chance after chance after chance after chance. We wouldn't score. Now I think we had like, what, 6 chances in this game? 7 maybe at the best. 4 goals. We were looking absolutely phenomenal in the final third. I think in transition, we looked fantastic. The second half, I think, was a really, really good performance. I was rating it based on halves. Probably would give the first half a 5, if I'm being completely honest. And the second half, like, an 8. We talked about Bayern Munich, 25-minute spell domination. They kind of had that around the 65th to 75th minute in the second half, and didn't really make much of it. They were just holding on. They had a lot of the possession, but we looked so fluid. The team worked so together so well today as well, and they finally now are starting to convince some of these Barca fans, including me myself. I did, of course, predict a 2-1 loss just because I'm pessimistic as shit, but they're now starting to convince us that, look, we are now a different team. There's a different mindset, and that's my big worry. I was not worried about ability in this game. I was worried about what's up here. And what I loved as well is for the Raphinha goal for the hat-trick when they went to go celebrate as well. And finally, they went to celebrate in that open track. I've been begging for that for about a year and a half now. But when they went to celebrate, it was, as you can see here, no Lewandowski in this picture, no Kubarsi, no defenders. I think Balde wasn't there either because Lewandowski's going like this. Keep your head tight. And that, for me, was the worry in this game. At 2-1, I was still nervous. At 3-1, I was still nervous. I was so sure that Bayern Munich were going to score again in this game, and they didn't. I'll take the mistake on that, but mentally this team turned up today, and that's all you can highlight. And we're going to talk about the individual performances, but as a team, as a unit, based on how the game went, I'm going to give it a very generous 8 out of 10. You can probably make a strong argument for, a 7, 7.5. I think the team did play the style that we've been playing all season, so no surprise there, but how effective it was in some period of times wasn't the best at some times, and it was good at other times. Let's now get into the players' individual rating performance. We're going to start off with the goalkeeper, Iñaki Peña. I'm giving him the most generous 6 out of 10 I think I've ever given in my 5 years of doing YouTube. That first half was disgusting from Iñaki Peña. Pressure on the ball was shite. Long balls was shite. The goal that Hattrick scored, the diving on that was terrible, especially for the one that was offside as well. Atrocious in that first half. Second half, he was alright. Second half, he had a bit more composure to him. Maybe he got used to the game a little bit. Didn't like how he's punching out some of the goal corner kicks late on in the game. But since everyone was crowding on the box, I kind of understand that. Held possession a bit better in the second half as well. But my God, that first half was like, if I were rating the first half, I probably would have given it like a 3. Maybe even a 2. And then the second half, I'll give it like a 6.5. Probably a 5 is probably fair for Iñaki, but I'm giving him a 6 just because I'm over the moon. I'm happy with the result. But, I mean, get Szczesny in net. I'm telling you, after Clasico, because Iñaki Peña is 100% playing the Clasico, get Szczesny in net for Espanyol. I mean, I have seen enough with Iñaki Peña. We went into this game, the fact that we went into this game knowing that 100% we are not keeping a clean sheet is clear enough to you of where that, situation lies. I think Iñaki Peña is, far exceeding his expectations as a Barcelona goalkeeper. I don't think he's at the level of a Barcelona goalkeeper whatsoever, and the sooner we get him out of there, the better we can look, in my opinion, in defense. But credit for the second half, he was alright, but that first half was disgusting. Now for center-back partnership in front of him, firstly on the left-hand side, it was Inigo Martinez. Yet again, another stellar performance from him, 8 out of 10 from me. I mean, this guy is just... I was thinking around like the 80th minute when we had control of the game and, we're basically seeing it out. I'm thinking when Araujo comes back, who is dropping out between Inigo and Kubarsi? And is anyone dropping out? Because they're getting 8 and 9 out of 10s week in, week out in my match reviews. So I don't know how the hell Araujo is going to get back into this team. But Inigo again, airily on the ground, the leadership, he's the commanding of the line as well. He is just absolutely astonishing. His passing was fantastic as well. He was a bit shy in that 20 minutes where we were piss poor, I'm not going to lie, but he defended so well. Remember when he went down in the area as well with Rafael Guerreiro late on the first half, using his head to defend. That's what I want to see in my defenders. Sublime from him. 8 out of 10 from me. And also, from a center back partner on the right-hand side, Pau Kubarsi, absolutely fantastic again. They're not reaching 9s and 10s. I think for defenders to get 9s and 10s out of for their match training, they gotta get like a goal or an assist, or unless they're just absolutely ridiculous. But I think again, Kubarsi was sublime. He had to carry a lot of the possession out of the back because Inaki Peña was just absolutely pure and utterly shite. I think Early as well looked really strong. It gave me a lot of that Napoli cameo last season in the second leg. It gave me a lot of that, and I think if Raphinha doesn't get a hat trick, he'd be up there for man of the match in this game. I thought he was absolutely sensational. His composure on the ball needs to be studied because it is absolutely disgusting. There were so many times he was in tight areas due to Kounde not playing the ball out well, or Inaki, and he just has that calm, cool composure and just deals with it with such ease. And his passing when he boots it out as well, just randomly, if you like, is so accurate. He'll just hoof it randomly, drop perfectly to Raphinha. He'll be around 3 players, hoof it randomly, draws perfectly to Lewandowski. He's just a cheat code. 8 out of 10 for me. Absolutely sublime. Now for the fullbacks. First on the left-hand side was Alejandro Balde, and I'm going to be giving Balde a 6 out of 10. I think he was, unfortunately, on paper, the worst outfield player today. My issue with Balde, I think Balde defended well in this game, but off the ball and on the ball in possession, he was crap. Firstly, positional sense was absolutely dog water, keeping Elise open so many times. He was tucking so close to Inigo, but Inigo was already marking Muller, and they were kind of double teaming Muller and leaving Elise wide open. We at least saw Kounde adjust on the right hand side, getting tighter and tighter to Davies, but he and Nabri as well, whoever was the more advanced left hand side player. But Balde just kept Elise open so many. He defended alright against him in the game, not taking that away from him, but he left them so open in so many stupid areas. I have to give credit to Balde. There were a lot of times where he would regain the ball in dangerous areas and have the composure to work out very well, whether it's passing or dribbling. His touch is really heavy in this game. Going forward, he wasn't the best. His crossing decision, yet again, is abysmal. And now, these Alphonso Davies links are starting to make sense because Balde is not really developing too much. It's been the same problems, year after year after year. Even his prime back in Xavi's first full season when he was dribbling around the whole entire defense, he still does that, and credit to his due because that ability is difficult, but decision making in the final third needs to improve, and I think his positional sense in this game wasn't the best, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. His other fullback partner was Jules Kounde, and I'm giving Kounde a 7. Now, everything I said about Balde, pretty much the same thing with Kounde. I think Kounde, on pressure when he had the ball, was disgustingly bad today, and I was very disappointed with him, as he is, one of my favorite, if not favorite player at Barcelona right now. The reason why I give him a higher rating than Balde is because in the second half, he improved drastically. That first half from Kounde was probably like a 3, 4 out of 10. That second half, though, was a solid 8. I thought he was brilliant in that second half. He adapted, finally getting, tucking closer to whoever the more left player was for Bayern Munich. Going forward, he looked good as well. Very good intricate play with the likes of Casado. Pedri was winning the ball back a lot on the air, in the ground. Fantastic. But that first half was major fraud watch from Kounde. On the ball, and this has been a problem with Kounde for a long time now. I think his weakest attribute is that when he's on the ball, getting pressed in 2 different directions from the opponent, he has no idea what to do. He'll kick the ball out, he'll lose it, he'll sometimes try to spin around them, then lose it. He really needs to improve on that, but apart from that, I think he had a good game overall. I will give him a 7 out of 10. Now for the midfield, firstly, I will say this right now. If Raphinha did not get a hat trick, he was getting my man of the match. Casado and Pedri now are undisputed in that midfield. I'm sorry. Yes, I get Gavi's world class. Fermin is fantastic. Almost, fucking brilliant. But that double pivot is on lockdown for the rest of the season. I cannot, and Frankie as well, as of course, great player. I cannot see anyone dropping Casado unless he has, a couple stinkers back to back. Casado in this game, first of all, the assist for Raphinha's second goal was a cheat code, was disgusting. But the way he just won... I mentioned this in the last video. He just wins that ball back so much in the midfield. And you know what? He's not really a natural single pivot, but with help and when he knows he has cover behind him, he can take risks with his tackling. And he's just so freaking good. His passing in this game is the best I've seen from him. He was making, through balls to Lewandowski, switch of plays to Raphinha, nutmeg passes to Lamine Yamal. I mean, and as well, his composure. In that second half, there was a moment where he won the ball back. He had about 2 Bayern Munich players pressing him in behind. Just turns, and he just pushes the... Oh my god, man. He was just fucking phenomenal in this game. And yeah, he's just... again, I think one of Xavi's biggest mistakes is not giving him a runabout last season. He is just absolutely disgusting. He gets a 9 out of 10 for me. And without Raphinha's hat trick, would have gotten a man of the match, which gives you a hint of who my man of the match is going to be. Next midfielder beside him, of course, in the pivot was Pedri. I'm going to give Pedri an 8 out of 10. Yeah, again, superb from him. Of course, he was, I gave him a 9 out of 10 in the Sevilla game. This game, I gave him an 8. The reason why I gave him the drop-off is that in this game, didn't have too much of the control because Bayern Munich were just, pressing so much. But when Bayern Munich pressed him, they never got Pedri. Pedri is he's such an anti-press player. It's just so mouth-watering to watch him beat the press of Bayern Munich. The dribbling, the aesthetic is just fantastic. Composure was really good. Didn't defend too well in the game. A lot of times we like to make a toe-poking challenge and never, got there and then gives Bayern Munich a lot of open space on the counter-attack. So a bit of, criticism there for Pedri. I don't think it was a perfect performance from him like it was against Sevilla on the weekend, but I still thought he was brilliant. I think on the ball today, progressing in the final third, he was second to none, and this is why him and Casado are locks. And I said this when the lineup came out, Pedri has to start in the 8. I was worried. I predicted in my match review that Flick would go with Pedri in the 10, then Frankie and Casado. You could not take Pedri out of the 8 position. That is just tailor-made for him. He can do the defensive work, but he has also the defensive coverage to go and express himself. That's the position for him, and he was absolutely sublime in this game, and he gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Now for the attacking midfielder, the number 10, it was, of course, Fermin Lopez, making his first start of the season and his 5th appearance this season. 8 out of 10. Fermin Lopez is now, I think in my eyes, considered a big game player. This man just turns up for all the big games every single time, and you can just see the quality on this player. And now with Olmo being so injury prone, I'm not worried whatsoever. Fermin Lopez is a fantastic player. I think on the ball, on counterattacks, he looked like a motherfucking plane. He was flying. Got both assists for the first goal, for the first 2 goals against Raphinha and Lewandowski. You can't ask for much more from a player that's just barely played this season, coming into a huge game like Bayern Munich, and also credit to Flick as well for having the balls to trust him. His ability to progress the ball in the final third and keep that composure in tight areas is fantastic. There were so many times we wanted to line up a long shot from distance, but kept his composure, trying to find the space a bit more. But he was absolutely fantastic in this game, and he's also quite an anti-press player as well. They tried to press him quite a bit. His turn, his movement in behind was absolutely sublime in this game, and he gets an 8 out of 10 from me for sure. Now for the front line, we're gonna start on the right hand side. Firstly with Lamine Yamal, I'm gonna give Lamine Yamal an 8 out of 10. I mean, again, I think Lamine Yamal, fantastic performance. The touch, the dribbling was orgasmic. Nothing short of orgasmic. My only, again, from a 10, didn't get a goal. Got an assist, of course, for the Raphinha 4th goal. Fantastic pass, but he wants to get a 10. He got to get some goals and assists. The reason why I knock him down 1 grade from 9 to an 8 is just, again, his decision making. I've been talking about this for weeks now. Lamine Yamal is a player that will dribble past 4 players instead of cutting it back for the final pass to get the guaranteed goal. Try to dribble back past the 5th player to, make the dribble compilation on TikTok work. Like, he holds onto the ball way too much, and I think if he just learns to distribute at the right moment and hold onto the ball at the right moment, he will be an elite player and probably be one of the best players, if not the best in the world. And we said this about Raphinha last season as well, so he needs to adopt this a little bit as well. Aside from that point, was fantastic. Getting out of tight spaces. Remember what I said about Kounde when he was trying in that first half? It was Lamine Yamal saving him in those tight spaces, getting fouls, getting throw-ins, beating the man, the double nutmeg on Gnabry, getting away from Raphinha as well. Phenomenal. Just again, work on that decision making once you dribble past those 5-6 players. Maybe look for a pass, or maybe keep going if you think that's the right move. But apart from that, I thought he was brilliant. 8 out of 10 from me. Next up was the other winger in Raphinha. 9 out of 10, and my man of the match. What takes away from a 10? I don't really think it was a 10 performance. Again, giving a perfect 10 out of 10 is magical, man. If he probably got an assist, I probably would have gave it to him, if I'm being honest. But he was just so clinical in this game. And we know that Raphinha can probably get a hat-trick week in, week out if he's this clinical. This is the first time I've seen Raphinha, everything that he touched was just gold. And if you look at all the games he's played, especially in this year of 2024, he probably could get a hat-trick every single game, but he's just not that clinical enough. He'll go with his left foot when he should have went with his right foot, vice versa. But tonight he was just clinical. That hat-trick goal, the low driven on Neuer, fucking hell. Orgasmic. Leadership qualities also, shining to light as well. I love Absolutely love the fact that when Frenkie de Jong was coming in, he ran over and gave him the armband. That's an example of a leader because he knows his level, he knows his position, and he knows his stature. I see so many other top clubs in Europe fight for the armband consistently week in, week out. But him not doing that for me shows where he is up here. Messi, for example, never does that. He'll tell Ultimate to keep the armband. If their second has it, he'll say, "I'll just keep it. Who cares? Who cares?" Even though everyone knows that he's the captain. It's those players who go and greed for it that I don't like, and he's not one of those players that shows Messi up here that he is absolutely perfect. His performance was fantastic as well. Everything again he touched was to goal. He did miss another big chance, I believe, in the second half, but apart from that, he was fantastic. So 9 out of 10, and of course, my man of the match. And last but not least is of course your main man, RL9, Robert Lewandowski. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10, which again for him scoring 1 goal is quite surprising for me. But the one thing I have to highlight, first of all, if he just scored that 5-1. Late in the second half, just didn't get the toe poke on that, he didn't connect with it, could have been different. Lewandowski was getting manhandled in this game, was getting absolutely assaulted by Kim Min-jae, Upamecano, João Pedri. His hold-up play in this game was fucking phenomenal. When I talked about Naki Pende being shy in that first half, he's hoofing balls just long. Lewandowski is the one that's winging it, heading right down, controlling it. His hold-up play today was nothing short of pure and utter world class. Got a goal as well, to tap in. I mean, almost missed it, the twat. But I have to highlight today the hold up play from Lewandowski. It was nothing short of sublime. That is what you want in a striker, especially when he's not getting maybe too many chances in front of goal. His hold up play was world class, and for that he gets an 8 out of 10. And of course, credit for his goal as well. Now for the substitutions, the subs were Frenkie de Jong, Dani Olmo, Gavi, Ansu, and Paulo Victor. To be honest, the final three didn't really, they only got about 8 minutes, didn't really do much, to be fair. I want to talk about Olmo and Frenkie. Firstly, Frenkie, I thought he did alright. Kept the passing fluid. Made some good runs as well, knowing that Casado was beside him, kind of doing the dirty work. He can make those runs going forward, really look good there. I want to talk about Olmo. Olmo got about, what, 20 minutes or so? Looked really, really good, man. His passing is just ridiculous, and it's going to be quite a decision for Hansi Flick who to pick right now, to play in the 10. Will be Olmo for mid. I think Olmo's the better player because he's just more experienced, especially after his Euro campaign in his last season with RB Leipzig. But what's with Olmo is that there are players in football that when you see pass a ball, you just know they're just a world-class player. I don't know how to describe it, but Dani Olmo is one of those players. Just you can see how he controls the ball, how the ball is glued to his feet, how he distributes to perfection, the runs that he makes. It's just nothing. It's just a sign of a world-class player. I don't think Firmino is there. I think Firmino is a fantastic player on his way to being world-class, but right now, Dani Olmo is a world-class player. So that cameo for me was fantastic. Apart from that, again, the other forwards didn't really get, the other substitutions, didn't really get to play too much, but coming in, making a strong impact as always. And last but not the least is, of course, the manager, Hansi Flick, who tonight for me gets a 9 out of 10. The only thing that I took him down for is that first 22 minutes-ish where we were just absolutely getting clapped. We were getting assaulted. That should have been on the hub.com. That's how bad we were. Didn't really adjust anything during that time. I mean, I respect Hansi Flick for staying very firm on his ideas, but that 20 minutes, that could have cost us way more. Apart from that, perfect. Substitutions were brilliant. Picking Firmino in the 10 to start the game. Sublime. Sticking to his guns. Sticking to his system style of play. It was a vintage Barcelona performance. And I was never in doubt of Hansi Flick today. I was always in doubt of the player's mindset. I said this in my match preview. That's why I predicted Barcelona to lose this game. I did not trust the mindset of the player. I had no doubts about Flick. I like his style. The play is good. It's innovative. It's new. Something that it takes a lot of teams to adapt to. It's also a bit suicidal, but now we've seen now that the high line can work against big teams if A, luck goes on your side, and B, you're clinical as well on the other end. But apart from the first 22 minutes where we were absolutely shite, I had no problems with Flick today. I thought he put in a shift and a half as the manager, picking everything right. And I have nothing really else to say. Flick master, I salute you. 9 out of 10 from me. So that was a match review for Barcelona versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything that we did discuss. Let me know your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. We finally done, lads, but now we're on to one more mission this Saturday to complete the perfect week at Barcelona and a sign of fantastic things to come. So I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Enjoy this victory, take care, and Forza Barca.
Yeah!